you, Travis. We'll go ahead and get started. All right. So when you guys are ready, we'll come right down into child's pose. Just get those knees wide and extend through the core of the body. Reach the arms forward. We're going to work on getting the body nice and long and open, but strengthening the core this morning too. So as you guys are settling into your space, find your breathing, your inhale and your exhale. Awesome. And let your thighs come back a little bit more and the sitting bones open back to your heels. As you lengthen your lower back forward and downward. So start to feel the lower back open, forward and down. And the shoulders come down the back. Spread your fingers nice and wide and let your forehead and chest come down. Relax the neck, jaw, and shoulders. Take 3 nice deep breaths in and out. So we're going to get a good breath in and out. And again, breathing in and out. And one more time, you guys. Take a nice breath in. And good. We're going to come on to hands and knees. So when you guys are ready, just bring your knees right under your hips. And ankle in line with knees, wrists right underneath your shoulders. So do your best to line everything up and evenly distribute your weight from your hands to your knees. So you're not forward onto your wrists and your hands, but you have some weight on your hands and some on your knees. And we're going to try to do a lot of core stability. So hopefully you guys can kind of understand this as you're in that. You want that pubic bone to feel like it's lifting or floating toward the navel. You don't want it to curl or tuck, but more of a like a zip up, like you're zipping it toward your navel. And we're going to try to keep that lifted feeling. So you're not going to unzip it when you go into cat and cow. So you're going to go into cow pose and lift your sitting bones. Keep that belly zipped. And go into cat stretch. So you start to, again, slide it up rather than tucking it back. And practice that a few times. Now, if you don't kind of understand how to do that zip up, just, just hold that core strong and do your best there to mobilize your back. If it'll help to keep your spine nice and steady, when you do get it. And a lot of times we kind of drop it out and roll it back, so we're trying to keep it lifted. And just try 2 more, you guys. So just stretching through cat and cow. And one more time. Awesome. And we'll come into neutral position. And again, try to keep that pelvis steady so that pubic bone zipped. That tailbone nice and long and strong. So the tip of the tailbone and pubic bone is stretching back. And we'll take that right leg out. So you guys are going to extend your right leg out. And keep everything nice and steady. Try to keep the sternum steady as well. Or bring the left arm out to the side rather than overhead. So get that left arm out to the side. And keep the arm lifted to the side. And without moving your rib cage or anything, slide that arm over the crown of the head. And breathe deeply here. And lift and lengthen. Hold the belly strong. Stretch from your hip a little bit more. You're really going to elongate the front of that right hip. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly bring that hand down and bring the knee right under the hip. And again, keep your weight back onto the knees and keep that pelvis nice and steady. So we're going to lift side 2. The left leg comes out. Again, try not to slant over to the side. Do your best to hold that steady. Opposite arm out to the side. And with that arm and leg lifted, you slide that arm over your head. So lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And breathe deeply here, you guys. So we inhale, and we exhale. Stretch the leg, stretch the hip. Keep that pelvis steady. And slowly release and tuck it in. You're going to curl back into downward dog. So you're just going to start to feel like, check out your feet, look at them, make sure they're hip width apart. And the ankles are steady, so check out your ankles. And check out your knees. So pull your kneecaps up, all the way up into your thighs. And keep starting to feel that. So your kneecaps lift up into your thighs. So check them out. Tone the front of your thighs. Start to let your heels drop. And this is kind of a tricky thing, but you know, I'm a stickler for form, right? You want to try to keep that pubic bone zipped toward your navel, like upward toward your sternum, rather than tucking backwards. So see if you can find that length as your sitting bones reach back and your tailbone gets heavy. So open up your shoulders, shake out your head, and let the head come down. Let those heels get heavy. Tone your thighs a little bit more. And so we'll take that right knee and shin and put it right underneath us. So you're going to slide your shin forward, guys, just like this. So that right shin and thigh, and you have a good fold to the back of the knee. So it's a good crease. You don't want to slant to the side. So your thigh folds right on top of your shin, and you slide your other leg back. So it's a good modifications style stretch. So you're not getting into pigeon pose just yet, but we will. But again, you want to think of that pelvis nice and steady, tailbone long, lift through the chest, and lift through the crown of the head, squeeze your shoulders back, and possibly let the head go back. If that doesn't feel good, just do it the way you want to do it. Breathe in, breathe out. It's snowing! And then slowly release it down and go back into downward dog. But this time you take that leg and breathe straight up to the sky. So again, check out your pelvis steady. Try to open up that hip even more. Keep your chest steady, rib cage steady, left heel down. Breathe deeply, squeeze the glutes. Squeeze your tush a little bit more, you guys, in the back of your thigh gets firm. And then bring that foot down into downward dog. Organize the hips and shoulders and slide your left shin right underneath you, okay? So you're gonna do the same folds. Great. Just make sure, check out your knee crease, that you don't slant the knee crease or your hips. So knee and hip have a good alignment. Back leg stretches out. Roll your shoulders back. Lift the chest. You're still squeezing that glute muscle, so you want to get nice and toned in the glutes. Nice and firm in the belly. Lift the crown of the head, possibly letting the head go back if it feels good. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Make some space in the body. Make some breath in the body. All right, let's lower that down, curl the toes to the back foot, and stretch back into downward dog, but lifting that left leg straight up. You guys squeeze the glute, squeeze your bum. Steady the pelvis. And breathe. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring that in and come into plank position. So when you guys come into plank, zip up the pelvis, pull the navel up to the chest, pull the chest toward the chin, keep the legs really strong. So steady your chest, your waist, and your hips as you lower down. Elbows in. Squeeze your elbows super tight and slide your body forward and lift your hips. Lift the pelvis. Breathe in, breathe out. And reach back into downward dog. You're going to reach it all the way back. Get your length. And start to open up your arms and your shoulders. Arms and shoulders. So right leg goes up to the sky, you guys, and get that nice stretch. Bend the knee in the air. Roll open your hip so you find strength in your inner thighs. The theme today is to keep that pubic bone lifted the whole time as you're opening your hips. Don't let it slide around or tuck back. If you can, keep your right arm straight and just bend your left elbow toward the floor. If that doesn't work, stay where you are. And then straighten out that left arm and step your right foot forward. Now again, if you guys don't have yoga blocks, you can use a chair or you can use books or something like that. But you want to put your hands on the floor, fingertip, or the yoga blocks. Make sure you guys get them and you're in this crescent lunge. So we're opening up that back hip without slanting the pelvis. So keep your pelvis steady. Keep the belly lifted and move the shoulders down the back. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach the arms forward. Back heel is up, you guys, here in this crescent lunge. And then rise up. Lift from the belly. Lift. And go back. If that works. Now you're going to use those elbows like you have a wall behind you. And like you're putting your wrists and hands against that back wall and elbows. And you're going to squeeze the elbows back. Wrists back. Open the chest. And breathe. Squeeze those elbows. And then bring the hands to the heart. Hug into the belly as you twist to the right. So that left elbow is going to come to the outside of your thigh. You're going to stack your hands. Lift your waist up to your thumbs. Keep your hips nice and steady. Breathe in, breathe out. If you want to open your arms, you can. If you want to turn your chin more, you can. Just keep those shoulders down. And then release and unwind. Beautiful. Back in the downward dog. So we're going to reach back. Open the shoulders again. Bring your left leg up. And bend that knee in the air. Pelvis steady. Keep it zipped. Left arm straight. And if you want to, bend your right elbow and forearm toward the floor. You don't have to do that at all. And then press that right arm straight and step your left foot in for our crescent lunge. So get it right up there. Again, scooch it up there, make your way up there, and then use your hands to the block or the floor. And try to organize your hips so there's a nice, good, strong pelvic structure. Breathing in and breathing out. Now hold that nice and strong, lifting the belly, and then rise up, up, up. Lift from the belly. Inhale and exhale. Keep pulling that pelvis up. You don't want to tuck it backwards, okay? So you want to zip and then open the hips. Then elbows open. Let your wrists go back, forearms back, elbows back. Chest is up if you want to. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Bring the hands to the heart and hug into the belly as you twist to the left. We're going to come right over to the left side. Keep that pelvis strong. Lift your waist to your hands. And breathe deeply. All right, we're going to let go and come down and bring the back foot in and step into forward fold. So you guys are going to come forward into your forward bend. Okay, so you come right down. Yep. Feet together, shins together. And recognize what's happening at that pubic bone. If it's curling back and rounding your back. And you want to lengthen that skin so that you're stretching that lower belly and pubic bone long. So as your navel comes down, chest comes down. The pubic bone is still zipping up toward the navel, just the navel's heading down, okay? So you want to keep finding that as you tone up your thighs. And then let your head come down. And hug into your hip flexors, breathing deeply. Open up your back. Find strength in your upper back to press down a little bit more. From here, clasp your hands behind your back. Keep the pelvis steady, legs toned, and reach the arms up over the head. So you want to keep lifting your sternum up to your chin and letting the neck extend. The crown of the head goes downward. Breathe and breathe out. Beautiful. I'm going to rise up when you're ready. Keep the hands clasped. Stretch or punch the hands downward to the ground, pushing the shoulders back, lifting the chest, lifting the belly all the way up. Toning your legs, so don't sag your thighs. Your upper thighs are lifted, and the inner thighs are pressing back. Shoulders roll all the way back. Release the hands, open up through the arms, and sink into chair pose. So in this chair pose, arms either together or hands together apart. Push your hips back. So I want you guys to really stretch the sit bones back, lift up through the pelvis, and look up at your thumbnails if you can. And that'll drop the head back and really nourish the spine. If it bothers your neck, don't do it, okay? If you can, lift the hands above the heart and let the head go back. breathe in and breathe out. So if you have tension at the neck or jaw, try to release it. Awesome. Rise up into standing when you're ready. Extend nice and long. Grab hold of your left wrist. Pull the elbow behind your head if you can, and over to the right. Now you're going to try to move your left hip more forward toward me and your left shoulder more backwards. So see if you can pull back and over as you pull that hip down to the floor and forward. You got it? Breathe in, breathe out. Squeeze a little bit more. Breathe a little bit more. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And we'll rise up and do the same thing on the other side. So strong legs, zip everything up, grab hold of that right wrist, move the arm back and over. Breathe deep. Right hip moves forward and downward. Right shoulder moves back and over. So keep trying to open up the shoulder from the hip. Breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful. All right, release it back up. Exhale, forward fold. Get into that nice reach, elongate the pelvis. Come down, this time reach the hands back and stretch. Come into halfway lift, lift up to the chest. Halfway lift, pull the pelvis forward. Again, if you're used to curling that tailbone back, you can have some problems in the spine. So you want to zip it flat toward the chest. Sitting bones back, and then go back in a plank. Step back. Down to the ground. Elbows in. Elbows in super tight. Front of your shoulders open. As you lift up. Zip it all up. Stretch your thighs back. Lift through the crown of the head. Squeeze the shoulders down the back. Exhale into downward dog. Press back into your feet and your legs. So push back as much as you can. Use your hands, use your core, use everything to press all the way back into your feet. Push your hips further back away from your shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. So again, check out that pelvic structure. Breathing deeply. And then bend that right knee in here. And then open up your hip. And twist it open. Keep that pelvis zipped up. And then stepping your foot forward. Knee comes in, and stretch it up, and then rise up into triangle pose. So I'm going to turn to face you guys, but your right foot is forward. Your left foot is turned in, arms up to the side. Now again, you want to make sure this inner thigh lifts up, inside of the knee lifts. The pelvis is zipped, so you're not curled back with your tail, with your pubic bone. You want to zip it, the belly lifts up to the chest, and you get that nice opening. So tailbone is down. Turn your palms up for a second so your shoulders are open. So your thumbs go backwards. Heart is open. Keep your shoulders open. Just turn from the elbow down. So shoulders open. And then come into your triangle pose. So do your best to keep the shoulders open. Pelvis strong. Inner thighs strong. Squeeze your feet toward each other. Turn that top palm in the direction you're facing. Lengthen your neck and turn your chin up. So we're going to work, as long as it doesn't hurt your neck, work to turn or lift your head up, and your chin is turning toward your top shoulder. So you're trying to keep moving that chin toward the shoulders, strengthening the neck. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep turning the chin and the nose. 2. And 1. Rise up. Open up. Bend the knee to warrior 2. Again, all of this is lifted, you guys. This muscle lifts up. If you don't know how to do it, use your hands to slide it up. Pelvis lifts, chest high. Turn the palms again to get the shoulders open. Breathe in, breathe out. Lean back with the palms open, shoulders open. And then just turn from the elbow for that back hand to reach down, but keep that shoulder opening up. Top arm reaches open. Lift through the chin. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep opening up that right hip. Beautiful. Okay, rise up again. Keep this right knee open, right leg open. Your hands are going to come down to the middle. So you're still in warrior 2 legs, but your hands are going to come down and possibly walk forward out as much as you can. So again, feel free to use the blocks, but you want to lift up that inner thigh. You want to zip up that pelvis. You want to stretch your spine, lengthen. Open the hips a little bit more, send your inner thighs into strength. And then walking your hands back, bringing it all the way up, straighten out your leg again. And come into twisted triangle pose. So you're going to twist over this leg by bringing your left arm around. And again, keep this all zipped. Keep your weight into your back leg as much as you feel comfortable. Bringing it around. That left hand comes down. Reach that right arm up. Lengthen your neck. Turn your chin. Keep turning the chin. All right, let's unwind. Rise up and turn to the front, toward your leg, sorry. Turn to plank. On the other way. So plank position. Coming down, keeping the pelvis steady. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift from the pelvis. Exhale, downward dog. Send the hips back. Keep that length to the torso. So shoulders are open. Breathing in, breathing out. Now get your left leg up to the sky. Bend that knee in the air. Open your hip up. Yep. Relax the chest and the shoulders. And step that foot up for triangle pose on this side. So we're going to come on up. Open up your legs. Left foot out. Right foot turned in. Inner thigh lifts. You don't want to turn that thigh down. Right? You want to pull this inner thigh up and lift. As you have that zipped, arms open, chest strong. Turn your palms up just to roll open your shoulders. And then turn from the elbows. So don't turn your shoulders down. Those nice and strong. And come into triangle pose over your left leg. So keep your inner thighs strong, feet strong, pelvis steady. Turn that top palm forward. Lengthen your neck and turn your chin. So you're breathing deeply here, you guys. Inhaling, exhaling. Just finding strength and stability in the pelvis while you try to relax and go a little deeper. All right, rise up when you're ready. Bend that knee for warrior two. You need to stretch further, stretch further. Keep pulling that inner thigh into a stretch. Keep lifting. Turn your palms up again to open the shoulders, and then lean back to your right leg and bring that hand down and open it up, you guys. Turn your chin, stretch into your hips. Find strength without tension. That comes from breathing, okay? So awareness of your breath. So we're gonna keep the warrior two legs, just come on up and bring your hands down in front. So keep warrior two legs, just come down to the middle and then walk out. So you're gonna continue to stretch and lift that inner thigh. Good, walk your hands as far as you can, lifting from the belly. Breathe and breathe out. A little deeper into it if you can. All right, now we'll walk the hands in and open up straight leg for twisted triangle pose. You're going to twist over that left leg. Your right hand will come down. Keep that pelvis nice and strong. Reach up that left arm. Turn your chin. Keep pressing into your back leg, you guys. Turn your chin. And then unwind. Keep your legs wide. We're just going to turn your feet in the direction you're facing. Go as wide as you can. Stretch to the outside of the legs. Lift through the hips. So your hips are turned in. So they're closed in. You don't want to flare them out like we were doing in Warrior. So you hug them in, zip up the pelvis, and we bend from the hips. So you don't want to curl from the pubic bone. Pubic bone's lifted, chest extends. I'm going to start to come down. Okay? So keep the length to the pelvis and lift your sits bones. Flex the glutes and breathe out. You guys are going to keep on reaching open through the hips. Yep, make your feet strong, legs strong. Now clasp your hands together behind your back and lift the arms up over your head. I lost some of my music here. All right, reach those arms all the way up and over and breathe, breathe, breathe. Let your neck kind of shake out a little bit. Just kind of release the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. All right, reach the hands down under your chest here, okay? So you're gonna reach your hands to the floor, right underneath your chest, and lift your chest halfway up. So you can also use the yoga block under your chest and lift up. So you're stretching from the pelvis, right? Think about that pubic bone lifting and lengthening, and you're breathing right there. Okay, so block or no block, just stretch, stretch, stretch. You're just gonna keep breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Now your right hand's gonna go under your chest. So again, right on the block, go right underneath your chest. And without moving your hips, you don't wanna slant your pelvis when you do this. That's one of the things that we have a tendency to do. So keep the pelvis steady, taking that left arm and reaching it up. So you're turning the chest, you're turning the waist, the neck, and you're stretching out of that right shoulder. So stretch out of that right shoulder, the one on the ground. Lift and lengthen. Tone the belly, go a little further if you can. And then releasing it down, so good. Bringing that left hand, lift the chest. Same thing, don't slant your hips. Okay, pelvis steady. And bringing that right arm up. Keep your feet strong. Inner edges of your feet are strong. Stretch out of that left side of your chest. Turn the chin, turn the chest, turn the waist, and breathe. Beautiful job, you guys. Let's go ahead and unwind. Bring your hands to your hips and bring you right up to standing and step back to the center of your mat. Okay, so look right to the front of your mat again, right wherever that is for you. Heels, toes together, everything is lifted. Gonna open up through the arms, get that nice reach, lift up super, super tall. Okay, so you're breathing in, breathing out. Right leg's gonna come up. You're gonna hold the stability here. So this is a balance exercise, but if you can get that pubic bone lifted and don't let it dump backwards, and you keep that pelvis nice and steady, you could stabilize a little bit better. So you wanna think about that. Don't let that move. That pelvis stays steady as you extend your leg out. Kick your leg as high as you can. For 4, hold the chair if you need to. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that in, bring that down. Take a little bit of a break. Inhaling up again when you're ready. And lifting that left knee up, or second knee up. Okay, so once again, you want to keep that pelvis nice and steady, nice and lifted. Stay super strong. And then when you guys are ready, extend the leg and just keep thinking about steadying your pelvis and lifting at the thigh. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release that down. Bring the hands down to the heart. We're going to open up into Malasana squat. So your feet are going to be out. Come down into your squat. Again, try not to rock back into the pelvis. Do your best to keep your spine nice and long. Keep your lower back long. And when you settle into the squat, zip up the pelvis. Zip up that pubic bone straight up to the belly. Zip up the navel straight up to the chest. Zip up the chest straight up to the chin. Open your shoulders. Open your hips. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release the hands behind you. Walk your feet in front and turn your hands back and come into tabletop position. So you're going to open up your hips. And again, as you guys are in tabletop position, find that pelvic stability. Find your glute strength, belly lift, shoulders, chest open. 2, and 1. Slowly release it down. Nice job. And straighten out your right leg off to the side a little bit. This is where you're probably going to want to use your strap for Janu Sursasana, one-legged forward bend stretch. Okay, so up to you how far you want to put this foot. It can come all the way up, then I'd put it there, but if you need it by your knee, then put it by your knee. Okay, again, we want to keep this zipped. This is our kind of understanding of the pelvic stability and the strength to that lower part of your spine. You don't want that to tip back and then start to stretch forward. You want to zip up the pubic bone. Zip it up. And you'll already start to feel the stretch of the hamstring. You might have to bend your knee a little bit, but you're going to work to straighten it out. You're going to turn your torso, everything, over to that right leg. So it's going to feel like you're turning that pubic bone over that right leg. So your torso is going to turn. We'll get that nice reach, and either reach for the foot, strap, or a leg, whatever works for you. So if you have your strap, put it right around your foot like that. And this is going to be a lot of squeezing and toning of the front of the leg and the belly. So it's like you're doing an abdominal crunch, like you're trying to get your chest to your knee by contracting your abs. So breathing deeply and contracting the rib cage and the back. So no tension. You should be able to breathe as you do this. Just keep finding strength and length to your spine. And come a little bit closer. Breathe in, breathe out. Now see if you can squeeze that belly a little bit more. Squeeze your hip flexor a little bit more. Tone your leg a little bit more. Stretch the heel away. If you can encourage your chest to come down and your head to come down. Squeeze it in. Let your head drop. Tone your thigh. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to bring that back and just open up through the chest. Just reach open through the spine and bringing that foot in, and we'll practice Baddha Konasana. So you're going to bring the bottoms of your feet toward each other, grab hold of your feet, walk your pelvis as close to your feet as you can, lift through the pelvis. So you're lifting from here, not by wrenching through the back, okay? So you're lifting that pubic bone up and drawing those knees to the floor, and then again, abdominal crunch to try to get your chest or your nose to your toes, right? So toes up, crunch the abs. Elbows can come down, however you want to do it. But you're moving your chest toward the toes or toward the tummy, however you want to think about it, to get your contraction of your abs. Squeeze a little bit more, so you'll be stretching out your back as you do this. Keep crunching the belly on the right side and on the left side. A little deeper work in the belly. And then when you're ready, release, unfold, and we'll take that left leg out. So we're going to do it on the left side. Just bringing that leg out to the side. Bringing this foot up as high as you like. Okay, once again, you're zipped up here, and we're turning from there. So if you're not mobilized in the pelvic sacrum area, which is really common for a lot of us because we kind of sit and kind of block that off, then you end up twisting from the navel area, and it kind of hurts the back over time, right? Especially if you're really pulling hard. So you want to get that pubic bone to turn from the base of your spine. If it's kind of hard, just move your leg in and then lift up and come forward. So again, you're going to grab the strap or your foot or your leg or your towel, whatever you have, and you keep turning from the pubic bone over that leg, zipping up, and then contracting your abs, hip flexor, and thighs, knees, shins, everything, to bring your chest a little bit more forward and downward. So breathe in, breathe out. Tone up those muscles and start to let your chest come down more, your head come down more, and your shoulders go back. And again, we breathe in, and we breathe out. And one more time, breathing in, and breathing out. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring that right back up. I'm going to come onto the back. We're going to practice bridge pose and a couple of postures here to continue to open up through the hips and the back. Okay, so you'll have your feet flat again for bridge pose. Again, this is kind of tricky with when you're trying to find that length and opening. We're trying to get those shoulders open here without lifting your rib cage out or without lifting your spine up off the floor. So settle your spine to the floor, especially between the shoulder blades and at the solar plexus area. And from there, you try to push the shoulders open and move the shoulders open, if you will. So you're rolling them open with your palms up and bring those elbows in close to your body and elbows back to the floor. So I have my palms up and I'm really working my shoulders back and my elbows in. And then I just turn my palms down from the elbows. I don't roll my shoulders in. Keep my shoulders out. So just keep working that strength at your upper back. Try to breathe deeply. And when you're ready, press your toes and heels into the ground and curl your tailbone up and lift into bridge. Now again, kind of hard to find that pelvic stability here, but you're zipping that up and then stretching your hips from there and stretching your waist from there. Sometimes we unzip the pelvis to falsely open up the hip area and the waist. So you want to keep it nice and toned. Try to open up a little bit more, heel toes nice and strong. Spread your chest a little bit more. Now try to lift right here, you guys, the sides of your chest here, the side of the chest. Try to lift the sides of your chest away from the floor, away from your armpits. So your armpits feel like they're going down and your chest feels like it's going up. And just keep trying to feel that release there. As you breathe in, breathe out. Go a little bit higher if you have a yoga block. You want to put your hands there. Try to boost up your hips, boost up your chest. Go for that. Shoulders stay back. Breathe deeply. Now keep your shoulders back, elbows in as you lower down your chest first. Don't let your shoulders come up. Let your chest come down first. Keep your hips in the air. Let your waist come down second. And keep your hips up as much as you can, and then let your hips come down. Awesome. Tuck knees into the chest and rocking side to side. So we do a quick hamstring stretch. And then we'll stretch the front of the legs. I know Melissa wanted sartorius yesterday, so try and give her a couple of those today. That right foot comes up, right leg comes up, left leg goes out if you want to, but again, keep your pelvis steady, shoulders back. Spine on the ground, okay? So try to correct your leg so it's not twisted or rotated, and the back of the knee has good extension. So the calf muscle stretches away from the back of the knee, and the hamstring stretches away from the back of the knee, so you open. And you're moving the toes down. And you keep that pelvis steady as you draw the leg in closer to you. And you breathe in and breathe out. You're breathing in and breathing out. Now, if you let go, you should still use the strength of your leg and your abdominal muscles to work that leg into you. And you're just going to grab hold just to help you come a little closer, and then maybe let go again and come a little closer and let go again. And just keep doing that to find your stretch, but also your strength of your leg. All right, let's let that go. Circle that ankle around and then stretch that leg out. And let's bring that other leg up. So you can keep the other leg bent. You don't have to straighten it. You can keep it bent in that position as you bring side two up. But if you feel good, your pelvis can stay steady. You're going to do that. Keep your leg from leaning to the side. Keep it from twisting. And stretch calf away from knee, hamstring away from knee. Toes come down. Shoulders roll back. And move that leg in toward you. Let's go for it, you guys. Again, smooth, easy breathing. Pelvis steady. Again, you can let go and do that little exercise where you pull the leg in with all your strength and then give it a little tug and see if you can let go and pull it in with your strength, and keep doing that so your hip flexor works. And you're toning up your legs and keeping good muscle strength here, right? Beautiful job, you guys. All right, let's let that go. Release that down. Just a quick tuck in and just rocking your hips and your lower back side to side. Again, as you're doing this, pay attention to that pelvis so you're nice and zipped up the whole time and you're not dumping into your back. If that pubic bone rocks back, you're dumped into your back, and you end up, you know, working into the vertebrae in that area that's really weak and not good to do. So we're going to rock ourselves up to seated, or get yourself up to seated however you want to. And then we'll come on the belly. Okay, so I'm just going to move my stuff out of the way. So you come right on your belly. When you guys are ready, just get your either chin or forehead to the hands, just like that position. We're going to be stretching out that sartorius muscle, so that stretch of that side. I'm glad Melissa pointed this out. Maybe I shouldn't pick on her, because she would be like, Melissa, why'd you say that? but it's a great muscle to stretch out. So you're going to bend your right knee in. And without moving your knee or your upper thigh, you're going to grab that right foot and move the heel toward the outside of your hip on the floor here. Okay, so I might not be doing that. I might not be a good example of it. But you're going to try to move the inside of your knee a little bit more to the left as your right foot comes down to the right of your hip. And so you'll be trying to get that sartorius in. So a lot of times we do this like kneeling, and we lay backwards, and this is just a different way to do it. It's not as intense, of course, and it might not be as bothersome on your back when you do it this way. Now, some of you guys have a good range. You can just turn your fingers over and push the elbow down a little bit more. And you feel that nice stretch, and then release. And so that was a stretch for the sartorius, and then we're just going to take that knee. Okay, you're going to swing that foot to the left so that your knee is going to point out to the right, and you're going to activate it and slide that knee up, just like you would do tree pose, up to the sides. But you want the inside of that knee and inner thigh to lift up, not off the floor, but slide up toward the quadricep, right? So your external rotation. So you can kind of use the floor here against the inside of the muscle. Sartorius goes from the inside of the knee across the thigh to the hip. So you're actually contracting it here. But it's a good way to kind of get that lift, that lateral lift, right? And if you guys want to, you can stay in that tree pose, just trying to get your hip right here, that right hip to the floor. You can bring your arms out to the side and turn your head to the left if you want to. Whatever you feel like is going to work for you. Just try to keep that inner thigh strong and stretching, lifted, and the glute. You should hopefully feel the bum doing some work. Beautiful. All right. So then when you're ready, we'll release that leg. Let that go. And if you want to, you can swing the legs a little bit side to side. Feels really good. And then we'll take that other leg or left foot up, and you're going to move the foot to the left and just go ahead and bring it in. Okay, so the left heel comes to the left side of your hip. That left knee kind of points inward and downward a bit. And again, just keep moving. So the foot's not coming to your bum, it's coming to the outside of your hip. You're stretching out that muscle. You'll feel it at the front of the thigh because that muscle comes across. Tapped is inside of knee. You can reach that arm up and over. Stretch it a little bit deeper. All right. And then when you're ready, you'll release that and just swing the shin to the right. The knee is going to point out to the side. That's activating that muscle. And you'll slide that knee up as high as you can, right? Like you do in tree pose. Slide that foot up. It's like we do in ballet class, right? That inside of your thigh and inside of your knee lifts up away from the inner thigh toward the quadricep. So pull that up and contract into the bum. And trying to get your hip down, and you're breathing deeply. And you just kind of, keep doing your best there to try to keep that pelvis stable and to press your hip open. Feel free to add a neck turn if you want to, arms out to the side if you want to. All right, and then when you guys are ready, go ahead and let that go. And if you want to swing. Feel free to go right ahead. Little psoas strength. You're going to stretch out your right leg and lift it up as high as you can, and bring Your arms down by your side, push into the floor with your arms, and squeeze your glute. So your lower back squeezes in and up, pelvis is steady. And bring that down. Take a rest if you want with the chin and the hands. And then we'll take that left leg up straight as you can. Press your hands down, lift the chest. So hands press into the mat or into the ground. And keep squeezing that left lower back, glute, high as you can while you breathe. And then lower all the way down. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and reach back into child's pose. We'll stretch all the way back. And try to find child's pose with the pubic bone zipped upward toward the navel, nice and long, rather than curled backwards. Okay, so you're going to try to strengthen through that sacrum, pelvic area, pubic bone area, while you stretch your hips back and find that length. Bring your arms as far as you can to the right. Just go as far as you can, like all the way over to the right, and bring your left hand on top of it. Let the shoulders relax. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Try to release where you're stuck at the outside of your left hip. Try to let go of that tension at the shoulder and the neck. And then we'll go to the other side. So bring that left hand over, and that right hand's going to go on top of it. And again, you're going to go as far as you can go. And again, trying to release the outside of the hip. Let go of neck tension. Awesome. Come back into the center. Take a quick camel pose. Couldn't think of the name of it for a second. Knees come in, right? So you're going to correct your knees, and we're going to lift up. So this is, again, working into the back bend. We should be pretty warm right now. But you can hold on to the sides of your hips if you like, to hold your hips in and not let your hips flare out to the side when you do this. That's just a thing that we do when we're not understanding how to strengthen the body properly, and it ends up hurting the back, right? The hips will kind of open out like that, and we'll just sag into it. So you want to keep the hips in and stretch from there. So you can hold the sides of it, or you can put your hands on the back of the hips to help to push the hips open. That pubic bone is zipped up. It doesn't unzip. And sometimes we'll do that too, right? So keep the strength at the pelvis. Squeeze your elbows together behind you if you can, and lift and lengthen. So you're lifting your lower belly, you're lifting that middle belly, and you're lifting the upper belly. And you're trying to open your hips. So from the base is how we open the spine. And of course, if it bothers your back, just come out of it, modify it, and work on the stability of the pelvis and your breathing. Awesome. Releasing it in, and squeeze your knees and shins together. Grab hold of your heels for rabbit pose. So you're going to keep your heels together. Curl your fingers and thumbs right around the heels. Squeeze your belly. So you're going to contract your belly. Shorten the tummy muscle. Again, the pubic bone still zips up. It never tucks back, okay? So you're going to keep that nice and strong. Roll to the crown of your head and lift the back of your hips up and over the top of your head. Hold onto your heels. Don't part your heels. And see if you can move your shoulders, like the energy of your shoulders forward rather than backward. So your hands are probably going to pull your shoulders back, and you're going to get a little tug of war. You're going to push your shoulders forward, and that's going to pull your hips forward. So keep pulling your chest and your upper back and your shoulders. The belly's nice and strong. 2, that's good. And 1. Woo, let's let that go. Very nice, you guys. Okay, so we'll come into, what do I want to do now? Twist, seated twist, and come back on the back for a twist. All right, so we'll have that right leg straight, left leg comes over, and come into this cross-legged position. Again, with that instability or inflexibility that we have in the pelvis, a lot of times the hips will slant and the pubic bone will slant with it. So if you can keep that pelvis nice and steady as you can, sitting bones active, and lift from the base of your spine. Breathe deeply. Then we'll come into a twist. So that leg's in and you're just kind of twisting over to the leg. And again, you guys want to be twisting from the pubic bone. You want to turn the pubic bone into that hip. You don't want to turn from the mid part of your back where it's really flexible. And we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You want to try to lift and turn from that pubic bone as you lift it. So lift and turn, lift and turn, lift and turn. That's what you're thinking about while you breathe in. Awesome. Let that go. Come into the center. Take this leg and just flop it to the side, right? So that foot is down and just come forward. Just hang out in that lower back just for a little bit. Just lower back release, hamstring release. Breathe in, breathe out. You're going to understand your habits of your pelvis, even if you don't know how to change them right now. Just recognizing that you are doing something a certain way that you want to do differently is the way to change. Keep dropping your head. And then release when you're ready. And we'll try the other leg. Okay, so left leg out and that right leg or side two, doesn't really matter. And again, when you pick it up, just pay attention to what happened to your hips. Keep them steady and go ahead and wrap and hug it. And reach into your twist. So again, you're twisting from the base of your spine, lift it up, turn it in, and just keep thinking about that. And you also want to lean forward, so don't lean back. So zip straight up and twist, straight up and twist. Beautiful. Come right into the center, unwind, and then let that leg flop. Excuse me. Here it goes. And come forward when you guys are ready. Again, lengthening through the base of the spine, encouraging that good hip mobility. So breathe in and breathe out. And then slowly release it back. Okay, just have a quick seat here for neck before we come down into the back. Grab hold of your shoulders and roll them back, roll them back, roll them back. So you want to do this regularly, you guys, especially like almost everybody's working from home now, right? So you want to keep moving the shoulders back. You're lifting the shoulders that have a tendency to roll forward and down, and you're pushing them back. So you do that in the morning, you do that throughout the day, you do that at the end of the day. Get them to come back, okay? So reach the hands back, keep rolling the shoulders back, lifting through the chin, and let that head go back. Again, unless it bothers your neck, don't do it, and then just gently rocking side to side, opening up. Keeping the shoulders back, drop just your chin to your chest. Keep your shoulders back and see if you can drop just your chin. And then rocking side to side, seeing which side might be a little tighter. And release. Beautiful. Let's come on the back, final twist before Shavasana. Nice job. So we'll come right down onto the back. Organize your hips, lengthen through your back. Keep everything nice and long. Lift up through the belly, right? The arms will be out like a T. Now again, turn the palms up, as I've been talking about this today as well, is to keep the shoulders open, and when you turn your hand in, it comes more from the elbow than it does from the shoulder. So palms up to start, and then just turn your hands down, but keep those shoulders open. Left leg out, right knee in. So that right leg's gonna come in, left leg straight. Keep the pelvis in line. This is when you come on your back, your pelvis is gonna fall backwards, right? So you're gonna pull it all the way across. Use the block underneath that knee if you want to, you guys, or just put it right to the floor. You can go ahead and roll your hip over and get to the side of your other hip now. Today we'll go ahead and get right to the side of that other hip. So your right hip is stacked on top of your left hip, but your shoulders are open, and turn your head, if it's okay, to the right. So that's up to you if you want to turn your chin, but keep getting length to the belly. Lift your spine from that pubic bone. Zip it up, up, up as you twist. Breathe in, breathe out. So it's a lift and twist, lift and twist, lift and twist. And then when you're ready, slowly unwind. Bring that back in the center. You can either tuck them both in or do a little bridge adjustment, whatever you need to for your hips. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left leg out, right knee up, shoulders open, back on the ground, palms down. Again, pelvis zipped as you bring that leg across. Bring it across, roll to the side of your hip, right? So you're going to be on the side of your right hip, and that left hip is going to roll right over it. Keep lifting at the pelvis and twisting it. So you are twisting that pubic bone up into that top hip. Lengthen it and turn it, lengthen it and turn it. Keep thinking about that, you guys. Turn your head if you want to. Breathing deeply. And come onto the back. Nice. All right. So go ahead and get your comfy cozies on, whatever you need to for Shavasana, and then just stretch your legs out. This is, again, the most important part of one of the most important parts of our practice is the very ending part, where we come into relaxation completely and letting go. When the body is still, the mind will start to become active. So I'm going to encourage you guys to lie down, close your eyes, and turn your attention to your breathing. So relax your body completely. Just keep letting go of tension. And relax your eyes, your mouth, your jaw, your tongue. Let the tops of the shoulders roll back. Let the front of the shoulders feel like they're going over your shoulder tops and back to the back, and let them fall back. Let your arms relax, elbows relax, wrists relax. And let your mind settle on your breathing here, okay? So let your mind turn to your inhale. Let your mind turn toward your exhale. And again, this is in such a way that we're not manipulating, we're not controlling, we're just noticing our in-breath, we're noticing our out-breath. And as the mind settles on the breath, we smile. We feel your eyes soft and tranquil, like you're smiling with your eyes. And we deepen the exhale. So I want you guys to deepen your breath out. Make it last longer. Pay close attention to your out breath and keep your mind on your out breath the entire time, from the beginning to the middle to the very end. And being in that point where your breath changes from one to the other, from out breath to in breath. Keep doing this as you relax your teeth. So part your molars. It's going to help your hips to relax. Relax the base of your tongue, your throat, upper back. Let the smile on your eyes travel down to the mouth, to the chest, to the belly, to the hips. Continue to let the effects of your yoga practice absorb into your system. You let your nervous system relax. Let the cells and the joints and the muscles relax. The heart, the lungs, the stomach, everything relax. And just be here for a few more moments, deeply settling the mind onto the breath, 100%. Following each part of your inhale, beginning, middle, and end. Noticing that change point. Each part of your exhale, beginning, middle, and end. So when you find that maybe you're bored or you're feeling antsy, a little fidgety, say, aha, let me just watch my breath for a while. Entertain yourself with your breathing. Just watch it, just settle at it, see what it's doing. Okay. When you guys are ready and it's your time to come out of Shavasana, just start to move your hands and feet and fingers and toes, and start to make your way to your side before seated. So don't rush, just take your time. Awesome. When you do come up to seated, in a very easy and relaxed way, settle the pelvis, steady and lift the pelvis, lift through the spine, stack everything. Shoulders roll back and neck and head. Very relaxed and open. So the physical practice, very good in our yoga, but the pranayamic energy and the meditation, really good as well. They go together, and also, take good care of your bodies, nourish your body, eat properly, minimize some of the bad stuff, right? As we're moving through this time. So thank you guys so much this morning, and hope I'll see you guys Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. Enjoy the weather. Namaste. You can unmute if you want to. I think you should be able to unmute yourself. I think you should. Bye. I think you're still muted, Kim. Let me see.
Bye. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day. I forgot about that. How could I forget?